Street lights glow soft on the lane. Your shadow.
Hey everyone! So welcome back. In today's episode, we're talking about something that we all experience but often resist. I'm talking about endings, and more specifically, how painful endings are not really endings at all. They are doorways to new beginnings. Let's be honest, endings hurt. They really, truly hurt. The end of a relationship, the end of a friendship, the end of a job, a dream, or even a chapter in your life. Let's be honest, when something familiar slips away, it can literally feel like the rug is being ripped from underneath us. But here's the truth that I don't hear a lot of other people talk about enough. These painful endings are necessary. They are the universe, God, or your inner wisdom telling you, hey, this chapter is complete now. Trust that the next one is waiting for you. Now, I know, I'm not going to sit here and say that losing something or someone close to you is not uncomfortable. When we experience an ending, it can trigger grief. We grieve what we knew, we grieve what we invested in, and who we were at that time we invested in it. And that's okay. Grieving is completely normal and healthy. So give yourself permission to feel the sadness, the anger, and even the fear, because pretending that you're fine only delays the rebirth that's trying to come through you. And it's unhealthy to suppress your emotions. Now, I want you to try and use your imagination for a brief second. I want you to imagine there's a forest fire. It's very destructive, it burns everything in sight. But what most people don't realize is that certain seeds, like the giant sequoia, can only sprout after a fire. The fire actually wakes them up. And the same is true for us. Endings actually ignite parts of us that were laying dormant within us. These endings can push us into certain transformations that we might have avoided otherwise. So trust me when I say that endings are a blessing in disguise. And like I said, grieving is normal. That fear, that sadness, that hurt, everything that you're feeling when you lose something, it only hurts so much because it actually mattered to you. And it's okay to have things matter to you. It means that you have a heart. It means that you're capable of loving someone or something outside of yourself. And I do want to share a quote. It says, "Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end," by Seneca. Now, new beginnings don't always look glamorous at first. Sometimes they start quietly as a new thought, even a new habit or a new friendship, a new idea, a new mindset altogether. And I always notice that my new beginning is taking place because I start attracting so much more, and it replaces what I lost, but in a way better way. And it's sad, not sad, but I honestly look forward to things ending when I do notice that they are coming to an end, because I'm like, oh, something new is coming into my life. But sometimes the beginning is simply sitting alone in a room and realizing that you actually deserve better, or you're ready for something different. So this can be a mindset shift where you're just realizing what you had before you lost it wasn't actually even serving you. But like I said, all of the endings, especially the painful endings, are blessings in disguise. And for me, I honestly hate friendship breakups. They are literally the worst. I don't know if you guys agree with me. Let me know in the comments if you agree with me that friendship breakups are really bad. Like, I hate going through them, but I know that I am making space for new and better friends to come in. And honestly, when I notice that the friendship breakup is about to happen or has happened, sooner rather than later, I always notice that that person was holding me back in some way. Yes, it's hurtful that someone I consider close to me is no longer in my life, but I noticed that that person was holding me back in a way that wasn't necessarily healthy. For example, if somebody had a negative mindset, they were holding me back because I was normalizing their negativity. So like I said, it can be super devastating, and it can take some time to get through, the hurt and the pain, but it will work out for you in the long run. And I will be honest, sometimes it can feel like you truly lost your person, but what we're really losing is the version of ourselves that needed someone else to feel whole. And this is why I hate that saying, oh, that person was my other half. They're my other half. They complete me. Like, I really hate hearing that come from people's mouths, because it's just like, no, darling, you complete you. There's nobody else who is made to complete you. Yes, you will have other counterparts that, you know, fit into your life in a certain way, but no. People are walking around thinking, oh, I'm not who I'm truly meant to be until I find my other person. Like, no. That's not a thing. That's not a thing. So on another note, if you're someone who is going through a painful ending right now, I sympathize with you. I'm here for you. But I do want to offer you a simple reflection prompt. I want you to ask yourself, what is this ending making space for in my life? I want you to sit with that question and then journal it or even speak it out loud. Trust me, and trust that even if you don't have the full answer today, it's unfolding perfectly. And speaking of journaling, that is a really good way or a really good tool to help you cope with losing something or someone. So journaling about who you are without the person that you lost or the thing that you lost can go a really long way. So I would like for you to use that or try journaling about that to use it as a coping mechanism, a healthy coping mechanism. And you can also write letters that you don't intend to send to help you express what you're grieving. So you can write letters to people or the person that you lost. And I do have another quote. I have quite a few quotes today, but this one is by Marilyn Monroe. She said, "Sometimes good things fall apart so better things can fall together." And I think that this quote is perfect for this episode because, like I said, painful endings bring new beginnings. So once you clear out space from the old things in your life or the old people in your life that are no longer aligned with you, you are literally making space for new things to come into your life. So it's not just about losing a friend, losing a partner, or losing some material item. This can also be about losing a job. Losing a job can really open a door for something so much better. Say you're calling in money, you're trying to manifest making more money or having more money in your bank account. Losing a job can put you on the path to getting your manifestation for having more money. So maybe a layoff pushed you to finally pursue your side hustle or go back to school full time, something along those lines. So losing a job can truly be a blessing in disguise. And I say that because I had to go through that in order to get what I was trying to manifest. And I didn't see it at the time. It was very devastating because it wasn't something that I was necessarily prepared for. And me losing my job came with losing my home, and I had to move out, and it was just a very painful time for me, and it was a very painful experience, but I came out on the better end. And so if you are somebody who is going through losing their job or losing their money or something like that, I truly sympathize with you because I had been there myself, and trust me, you will make it through this. And it's going to open the door for something so much better. You may not be able to see it right now, but you will be able to see it in the future. So just keep on going. So I love to say it, but sometimes rejection is redirection. You weren't being pushed out, you were being pulled forward or pushed forward. So another tool for coping with this, if you lost your job, you can list out what you learned at that job and ask yourself, what did this experience prepare me for? And like I said, you can go back to school if you didn't finish school or you're just trying to pursue something completely different. You can do that. That's always an option. And you can also pursue your side hustle full time. So that way you can start that lucrative business. You were blessed with these ideas for a reason. So you can start that now that you have some free time on your hands. And then again, I have another quote. I told you guys we have a lot of quotes today. But the quote is by Alexander Graham Bell. "When one door closes, another door opens. But we often look so long at the closed door that we do not see the one which has opened." And again, outgrowing friendships or environments leaving behind a friend group or even moving away from a city can feel like a loss. But in that space, new aligned relationships can form. And again, while you're in the moment, while you're, going through the feelings of losing something, it can be hard to see that the new aligned relationships are going to form. But trust me, they are preparing to come into your life. So grief and growth can happen at the same time. Just because it hurts doesn't mean it's wrong. So another tool for coping is normalizing outgrowing people. It's okay if you outgrow people. I stated this in one of my previous episodes. Sometimes when you grow apart, it means that you were just on different paths. So it's okay to outgrow people. It means that you yourself are growing. So it's perfectly normal. It's perfectly okay to outgrow people. And I would like for you all to create a vision board of the relationships, the peace, or environments you're now making space for. So you can keep that in the forefront of your mind for this is what you want and this is what's to come next. Another quote. This is by someone unknown. You will lose people as you grow. It's a sign you're evolving, not breaking, which is what I just said. You guys, when you lose people, it's a sign that you are growing. And I see so many, not so many, but I do see content creators on TikTok specifically speaking about how if somebody doesn't have friends, it's a red flag and this and that. You don't know what that person had to do to not have friends. So yes, I can understand it from one point of view where that person is toxic and people are leaving their lives because they don't want to deal with that. Yes, that can be a red flag. But if someone is purposely distancing themselves or outgrowing people in their lives, that's not necessarily a red flag. That is a green flag that, that person is growing, that person is outgrowing and knows what they deserve and knows that they deserve better than what they're settling for. And before we close this episode out, I do want to talk about how you can move forward through painful endings. So I do have a few steps for you all. So I do not want you guys to try to suppress your emotions. I want you to feel it fully. Don't rush healing. Healing does take time. For some people, it can take years. Some people, it can take months, a few days, depending on how extreme the situation was and how hurt you were. But the important thing to remember is not to suppress your emotions. You have to feel it fully. And the next step is you want to reflect honestly. What did this ending teach you? And not only what did it teach you, but what did it actually teach you about yourself? And what was your role in the relationship ending? You have to ask yourself these important reflection questions. And then the next step is to reclaim your power. You need to decide what story you'll tell about this ending, not to other people. We're not talking about going on a smear campaign and telling people, oh, this person did me badly. This is the story that you are telling yourself. How did this story end? How did this chapter end? And next, I need you to visualize your next beginning, because it can be easy to get stuck in this pain. It can be very easy to just be stuck on this situation for a very long time. So I want you to always look forward to tomorrow, to the next day. Visualize your next beginning and get excited again, even if it's just a flicker. Get excited about what's to come. And like I said, I always get, I know something's about to end or it has come to an end. It's just like, oh, great, something better is coming into my life. I can't wait to see what it is. Now, I want you guys to know that if you're going through a painful ending or the painful ending has already started and you're in that kind of messy middle area where you're not at your new beginning yet or you haven't received your new beginning yet, it's okay if you're right there right now. Better things are coming. They are always coming towards you. You just have to keep your head up, stay positive, and just hope for the best. It's also important to remember that beginnings often come quietly and disguised as something ending. So it's very, very important for you guys to remember. And I want you to know that pain is not the enemy. Loss is not the enemy. They are bridges to your next beautiful chapter. So thank you so much for listening today. If you love this episode or if it spoke to your heart, please share it with someone who you think should hear it too. Until next time, stay soft, stay strong, and stay open to the beauty of your new beginnings. I'll talk to you next week. Bye.